I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Welcome to Friday night's Messages of Love from Above. Hope you had a great week and welcome to your weekend if you have a weekend. So happy to be here and so glad to have you all here as well. I'm excited to see what messages Spirit has for all of us tonight. But before we get into everything, let's bring in and this energy, this beautifully eternal, unconditional love energy of the upper realms just to help bring in the right atmosphere of receiving messages from above. I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times, and you can just imagine like a giant waterfall, love flowing down into our hearts, filling us up and flowing out to the world, doing what it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet. And as we're doing this, you can also think of at least one thing to be grateful for in this moment because that immediately raises our love vibration. It puts us in that atmosphere and that energy of receiving, and whatever we're grateful for sincerely from our heart, that opens the doorway to bring that in easier to us too. So I like that. So we will get started. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to take a big deep breath in before we start. Come back to now. All right. And here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Can always feel that extra oomph of energy that comes in when people join in. So thank you so much for that. All right. So welcome, welcome everybody. So happy to have you here. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We got a great group of people, our Zen friends who have huge hearts, great senses of humor. Two things we definitely can use in this little adventure called humanity, right? So there's always room for more Zen friends. You're very welcome here. Quickly, how the free readings work. We go down in order, first come, first serve, down the chat. There is no special list. The chat is it. You just put your question out there. Or if you don't want to put your business out there, or you don't know what question you want to know from spirit, you can ask for a general reading and we'll pull 1 to 2 cards sometimes for the free readings. And then if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I prioritize those stepping out of the free readings, and I dive deeper, pulling more cards for those as well. And then I return back to the main chat when I'm done. If you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom, or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square as well. So, we do have no set dollar amounts. Whatever you give from your heart is the perfect amount. I never want the cost of living and rate of exchange and our individual incomes vary across the planet. So whatever you give from your heart, as I said, perfect amount. After that, my YouTube channel members do get a second priority for their free readings. You'll see their names in green with a little badge. We have Suri Amanda. Hello, hello, Suri. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Um, and if you're interested in becoming one of my YouTube channel members, I do have two levels. Zen Cricket is $2.99 a month. Praying Mantis is $7.99 a month. In addition to getting prioritization during these sessions, we also get together on Thursday nights, and which was last night, and we have 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4. We almost went 4 hours last night. A lot of great readings. We do tarot readings, unlimited tarot readings. We do oracle readings, we do past life readings, talk astrology, do Q&A, whatever we want. And then my Praying Mantis members, the higher level, we get together on Friday and Saturday nights after these sessions, and then on Sunday afternoon after that session too, for at least an hour, hour and a half, depends on spirit, of course. So if you're interested, there's a link down below that talks about all that. My Praying Mantis members also get advanced access to all the videos that I put out. Yeah, in addition to these lives, I put out videos every week. We've got when the moon is a new moon and a full moon, when the sun changes signs, which we just had come out here. Let me grab that here because we've got that for everyone. Happy Gemini season to everyone, and happy birthday to all you Gemini sun babies. You have those. And then also, what else do we have? Zen Gates and portals, which happen every month, 112233. We have a monthly quest video, which is more like a podcast format, where we talk about how to use the most of our elements. It's the search for the five, the quest for the five elements. We've got our mind and air element, our emotion and water element, our energy and fire element, and we've got our, of course, our earth and physical. We also have our ethereal and spiritual. And January through May, we talked about how to connect to all of your elemental spirit guides too. Everyone has them. I did not know that. And when I was preparing for all these things, I was like, what? Every human being has an earth elemental spirit guide, an air elemental spirit guide, a fire and water. Of course, the ethereal is they were calling it a guardian angel. So we all have them too. But every human is given those. And so we learned how to connect with them, tools on how to deal with all those areas of humanity, our mind, our heart, our energy manifestation, our physical world. And we'll continue to do those too. So those are great videos anyway. I'm going off topic, I know. And then weekly we have Zen Bytes too, the little videos that help us return to our Zen, which here we have. Boom, boom. This is the one that came out this morning. It's every Friday morning. This is number 21. What else? We also have quarterly Equinox and Solstice, which I just completed the summer, if you're in the northern hemisphere, winter, if you're in the southern hemisphere, the solstice readings. And oh my God, they were amazing. I really loved them. My Praying Mantis members, you have access to those right now. Everyone else will get it. I think it's June 11th, somewhere around there. We get it about a week before the actual solstice. It goes public for everyone else. But if you're interested, there is a little link down below for all of the memberships. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I think just one more announcement that I want to let you guys know about. I like telling you all the free things that are available. So all the playlists for all that stuff is also down in the description box if you want to check any of those out for more messages from Spirit. And if you haven't heard, in celebration of hitting 2,400 that we have uh, here for everyone, we're having a celebration. So thanks to all of you who are my subscribers from the beginning and everyone that's joined in between. I'm so grateful for all of you. It's just, we continue to grow. And as we grow, as you're giving likes and comments and all the stuff you can do for free, it does help spread the Zen love. So watching all the videos, commenting, like I said, giving those likes, and then participating in these lives. In addition to all my YouTube channel members and all of you that also purchase, I offer personal readings, my hedges of peace and love. all of that stuff, because of all of you, I'm able to do what I do as much as I do. If I was working a full-time job as I did before, as always, would be so exhausted. I'd be doing like smidge of what I'm doing now. So as gratitude and celebration, I am having a drawing in a week from today. Can you believe a week from today is May 30th? But if you check out that video, it talks about how you can get into the drawing. I'll be giving away at least one free um, personal reading. But depending on spirit, we know I'm going to pull more. Let's just face it, I'm gonna pull more than one, but it's gonna be depending on how many people participate, how out of control I go. Because if you know me, you know when I get to giving away stuff, I go ludicrous. All right, so that's everything I wanted to talk about, outside of readings and all that. Let me take a look here and see where we're at. Hey, everybody, good to see you. Oh my god, hi, Jojo. All right, so let's take a look. I did get a cash app for Yachty. So Yachty, you'll be up first. And then Nelia, we got the triple threat. Thank you for your three donations. Let's say demotions. I got demoted. And then we have Michelle Smith after that. Got a couple more via PayPal. Let me just take a look here. All right. And then Maria P for two via Z PayPal. Let me just do that here. All right. And just so you guys know too, um, I try to mention it, but I sometimes forget. After I'm done with each stream, I do post a pinned comment listing all of the people I've read and the little timestamps. So you can just click on it and go directly to your reading. So if you have to, post and go, I understand. You don't have to be present for your reading. But I always love everyone's energy, and so feel free to listen to everyone else's and glean from them like I do. I learn so much from everyone's readings for my own life. So feel free to stick around. Whatever I don't finish in the 2 hours that I'm on here, I'm going to go spend about an hour and a half with my Praying Mantis members, and then I'll be back on to finish out everything else tonight. Is my intention. So based on right now, that's what I'll be doing. So if I don't catch you in this stream, I'll catch you in the stream after my Praying Mantis stream. And then after that one, I also will post a pinned comment listing everyone's so you can find those. All right. All right. So, hello. Hey, Anna. Shout out to my YouTube channel members. Brother PI, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. All right. So let's get into the readings here. I'm going to use the good tarot tonight. They're all good tarot, but this one's called good tarot. They're all great tarot, right? So we will take a look here. All right. I'm just double checking real quick here. Yay, hey Nelia. Thanks for sending all the love and light and strength out to everyone. We can definitely use it, right? All right, I think we're good. I love that, Yadi. Grateful to wake up with your little ones every day. I love that. All right, well, let's get into your reading here. So, Yadi, your timestamp, wow, 1414. So we will start here. Let me just copy and paste that into the chat. Yay, that's working. We're always happy when that works out good. All right, so Yadi, thank you for your donation via the CashApp. Excuse me. Let's give these a shuffle. I already shuffled them all beforehand, but we'll give them another little shuffle. We'll do three. One more. All right. So here, and then I see you have a free one too, so we'll circle back for that later. But so for the one that's up top, you have your boyfriend, Luis, is returning back to Virginia. Oh, wow. Yay. So I want to ask, will you reconnect into a healthy, loving relationship? You're feeling fearful, I'm so used to being alone with our baby girl. I know, right? You're like, uh. Well, let's take a look here. We already shuffled, so let's not delay. So we're going to base it on current energies. Will you guys reconnect into a healthy, loving relationship? All right. Well, you can always know as well, right? Whatever's meant for us never passes us by. So, we can always trust that things are unfolding for our highest experience. And if something doesn't work out well, do we trust the creator? That's the whole thing, is right. When we're faced with things in life, it's like, do I trust the universe is kind and that they're wanting to have the best experience, that have me have the best experience for everyone involved? Yeah, I do. Then I can trust that it's going to unfold, right? Now, is it going to be, you know, are we going to make it easier or harder for creator to help us? That's up to us. That's our choices, right? As I, wallow in lower vibration, that makes it harder. Spirit's like, I'm trying to give it to you, but you're like, I don't want it, with our energy. But I'm sure we'll talk about that here. You're so fearful. Yeah, I mean, what are you afraid of, right? We get um, to the root of it. What are we fearful of? That we're not going to be lovable, that we're not going to click. If we don't click and we end up going, that means there's someone even better, right? It's like if you go to the airport and you're afraid they're going to give away your seat and coach. I always talk about the one that's in the very back of the plane that it only moves back like this much because it hits the wall, and there's the the bathrooms right there, and all the flight attendants are all making noise, and there's a stench that comes out of the bathrooms, and people are slamming the door and slamming the door and slamming the door, going in and out. They're like, "We're giving up that seat, but we've given you one in first class." You wouldn't be like crying over the one in coach. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to first class," right? Yeah, and doing things on your own too, and that's all right. Talk about it. Talk about your fears. Talk about, I got used to doing everything, so it's going to take some adjustment. So please bear with me, and I'm going to try not to get irritated when you try to do things that I already have been doing for a very long time. So if you can just kind of take your time on moving into things, it'll be healthier for all of us. Set expectations. Well, not set expectations, but communicate upfront, right? All right, let's look into here after all that, right? So we've got the messenger of fire, which is the knight of wands on the bottom. That's a lot of passion, a lot of fast movement, fast passion. So, well, you definitely have the attraction is still there with that. So be careful if you don't want more children. That's funny. All right, that's the bottom of the deck. Let's look at these others here. Yeah, you got the three of fire and the king of air. Yeah. So the king of air, the king of swords, they're the ruler of the mind, very much in their head, right? And the three of fire, the three of wands, is a change of direction with new thinking, higher thinking, and with new communication. So this is good. This is about flexibility, yeah, parenting, and it's about, going, all right, I'm going to try to keep an open mind, and going with them coming in, they're going to have their ideas, and just because they're different from mine doesn't make them wrong, maybe just not as smart, but it's compromise, right? It's like, well, you know, this is the especially, I'm sure he knows, but you can tell him, with children, having structure is important, and if you come in and upset the structure, it's going to upset them. And so it's about, having this, have some structure, and before you implement anything, let's talk about it, because we don't want to be going back and forth and confuse her. Let's talk about it beforehand, and then we'll come to an agreement, and then we'll, present it together, kind of thing. And communication, like, is very important here. This is the master of communication with, the king of swords, and three of wands is about, like, well, you intended to go this way, but there's just a little course change, and that's okay. Um, as long as there's balance, is important, right? And, if they're gonna want changes, then there's some cost too, right? Well, if you're gonna do that, then I need you to do this for me, though. Like, you need to take out the trash, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. If we're gonna do this, I need you to, also take up some of this other stuff. That's funny. So far so good. It just feels like communication is important, right? Not keep it in all inside. Allow that, and because if you keep it inside, then it's just gonna come out brah when the volcano erupts. But if you talk through things, especially in the beginning, or even before they come back now, just say, you know, I don't know how if you feel any fear, but I want to talk about some fears I have because I just need to put it out there and communicate, right? I mean, that's what's important in a relationship. All right, let's see what else they have here. Yep, you got the devil card, which is about letting go of long held thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. Don't be stubborn. And the page of fire. Yeah, so that's the page of wands. So heightened passion. And then the three of swords. Just a reminder that, expectations equal disappointment. And that's why I corrected it earlier. I'm like, set expectations. I'm like, no, expectations equal disappointment. Communicate, don't expect. So it's like going with an open mind and not having like, well, it has to be this way. Because when we have this long list of things that need to be a certain way, what happens? We focus on what's not happening, not gratitude for what is. So this is like let go of the stubbornness, let go of the expectations, focus on, be aware of where you're focusing your energy with this page of wands, which is so if we focus on gratitude, you're a fire sign and he's earth. Oh, okay. Aries and Taurus. Well, that's a nice combo. You are the fire and they're the grounder. You guys kinda help bring each other to the middle. You help get them going, and they help you not jump off a cliff. It's good. Uh, so in this case, it's good to, focus on instead of focusing on what you're fearing, because when you focus on your fears, what happens? We draw it to us. We feed it. We're feeding the dark wolf, which gets bigger. Yeah, if the fear keeps coming up, look at the fear and go, what's at the root of it? What am I afraid of? I'm afraid it won't work out and they're going to leave me. Well, that's our fear, right? Fear of rejection. But if we trust and go back to knowing that everything unfolds for me, that means something better is down the road for me. Someone better is down the road for me that's more match with me. And if you think they're a great match for you and you really we never downgrade, it's always an upgrade, so it's like, we can trust that. Instead, focus on what you're grateful for. You're grateful of that returning, else are you grateful for about them? Focus in on that, not fearing what will go the other way. Think of all the things that you are grateful for or have been grateful for around them, what you love about them, and focus in on that. So that's what that page of wands is. Yeah, you got the page of air and the justice card. All of this communication, communication, and guess what? More communication. They're saying balance things, balanced communication, um, honesty, talking things out, discussing things. Even under the messenger of fire, you got the six of swords. Leave behind old ways of thinking. Be willing to try new things. Um, but balance, right? We go back to that, which is, when children are involved, if we keep changing, 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 yeah, children can adapt a lot faster than we can. But there's also about consistency, right? Um, so it's about what changes. If the same thing keeps changing, that confuses a child. But if they're able to adapt to a lot more change than adults, that's for sure. All right. And then for your fortune cookie, I have Combined, I've got Spirit Junkie, which we'll be using tonight, with also the Health and the Law of Attraction cards from Esther and Jerry Hicks, too. Esther Hicks is the one, she channels Abraham, if you've ever heard her. So, let's see. Yeah, they're this way. So let's see what your fortune cookie says about this, but it looks good. I feel like it's just a matter of communicating and where you're focusing your energy. Just realize you're in control of it all, you're not out of control. You wherever you focus your energy is what grows, and communication. Those are your two focuses. Focus on what I'm grateful for and chatty chatty talk talk. And then also you have this one here. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. Yep. There's so many possibilities coming in here. Perfect card for you here. All right. So that's what they have for that one. And then we'll circle back around for your free reading in a bit. So thank you again for your donation, my dear. You're so funny. All right. And then Nelia, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So this will be for 3. So that's the timestamp for all 3 there. Okay. Just get my mouse where it needs to be for next. All right, there we go. So Nelia, hello, my dear. Thank you so much for your triple donations here. And we'll start off with your thinking sticker. You like a general on Kevin. All right. So his health, he's been messaging you. Are there hidden intentions, friendship, or something else? Anything else Spirit wants to say? All right. Let's take a sip here. Was 80 degrees Fahrenheit here. Thus the iced drink. Instead of coffee, it's like, oh no. All right, let's see here. Tell us about Kevin. What do we need to know about Kevin? Obviously those. Let's talk about his health. Of course, disclaimer in the description box of the video, I'm not a licensed medical professional. Of course, tarot is for fun. They don't want that one. They want this one though. Okay, for health. And then intentions. Okay, so those are intentions. I feel like all these are what Spirit wants to say. So we'll bring all those in. Okay, interesting. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Tower card here. So the overall energy around them, it does feel like they're having some things shaken and removed out of their life, some sudden changes that have kind of shaken them a bit. We'll see what more is about that as we dive in here. Yeah, so he is seeking to try to find some balance in the outside world here with the 2 of Earth, with the 2 of Pentacles. So whatever this has shaken, they're trying to get their foot again. Like it's like getting your sea legs. You're at sea and a storm comes. You have to get used to walking on a boat instead of on solid land. And that's what it feels like that he's on you know, uh, not such a solid ground as he was before. And let's see what else they'll tell us about here. Well, we do have the 7 of Wands. So they are in this energy of wanting to be true to their self, not dimming their light, not asking permission to shine, but just being themselves, not feeling like they have to defend the choice that they're making here. And the 2 of Pentacles, I do feel like, in addition to balance with these cards together now, brings in this energy of they need to make a choice in the physical world. And maybe we'll find out more here too about what this is. Yeah, we have the 4 of Water, the 4 of Cups. It's emotional stability. So I do feel like, again, this water and trying to find stability, there's been some things shifting below them, and it's like a storm has hit, and now they're kind of feel like recovery is a word that is coming in here. And let's see, do we know what from? Yeah. Queen of Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, taking care of themselves, focusing in on themselves. there is a new birth that is coming in here, so I do feel like they reached some sort of end with this tower, and now they're needing to make a decision on where they're going in something. So definitely some, some things coming in here. Hmm. Maybe we'll find out more here. Let's take a look at their health. There's quite a few cards here for health. Yeah, the Nine of Fire, Nine of Wands. There is something that they're having trouble getting through and getting over their this perseverance energy. They're trying to work through and get through something. Good. Page of Water, Page of Cups is heightened emotion. So that feels like there's hope and it feels like there's progress and they're not giving up on that. So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. Five of Fire. Yeah. So there is some conflicting energy that's coming in here. So I do feel like there is this, I don't know, just this, um, what is this conflict? Well, let's look at these other cards here because I feel like I need to find here if this is an inner conflict within their body and a conflict with like doctors and what they're wanting to do. And I just feel like there's some disagreement. Let's see, is it Four of Wands is joy and celebration. So I like that stabilization. So the Five of Fire to the Four of Fire, it usually goes the other way, right? This time it's going to a Four of Fire, which I feel like there's something that they tried that there was conflict with. Okay, they're telling me now with the body. They moved forward in something with this Five of Wands and it didn't do well. And so they had to go back. They had to like take a step back and go, let's go a different route. Let's try something different. Maybe that's what this tower is about too. But it feels like with their health that they were, they were trying and trying and trying. And then they were like, well, let's try this. And they're like, all right, let's do it. And they're like, oh, no, 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 I can't do that. Let's back off. That's, making matters worse, not better, or there was no result. They're like, "Okay, we gotta go a different route. There's no impact," or it was, the opposite effect. And we do have the Ace of Earth. That's where that hope is coming in. They do have, with the Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity coming up regarding their health. If there needs some sort of treatment or something, there is another, very viable option. That's where that they're okay and they're happy through all this, because there is something more promising that, is coming their way. So, I like that. Still not 100% confident that it's medical stuff that is this tower card, all this, because this feels almost work related, life related, as far as needing to make external decisions on which way do I go? Which way do I go? But not health wise. I feel like that's a separate thing from this other one. You can see all these, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's look at intentions here. Got the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Fire. So there is attraction there. There's a lot of energy between you guys. The Nine of Swords. There is fear, though, here, that's holding them back. And the Five of Earth. Yeah, these feelings, these fears go back to, it's the fear of being left behind, left out in the cold, not being enough, not having enough. So there's a lot of fears that are keeping them from moving forward. Um, with that, I feel like friends is where they're at now, especially with all this stuff that's going on. Even on the bottom, you have the Three of Wands, which is changing a different direction in their life. I feel like they have so much upheaval going on that they're not in a place to want to change a different area of their life and lose any support that they have already, especially with friendships. It's not wanting to, you know, rock the boat and tip it over while we're just getting over and working through a storm, that we've gone through ourselves. So, yeah, I don't see anything like romantic there. There's attraction there, but and a lot of great energy. And they're just like, I don't want to ruin this at this point. So, let's see what else we have here for your fortune cookie. All right, there you go. You got one of the spirit junkies that says, the difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior. Wow. So look at your intentions, right? Mirror, mirror, whatever you're thinking about them, uh, how am I thinking about myself this way? And whatever I'm curious about, what they feel about me, how do I feel about them? What are my feelings? Independent of, you know, how they feel about me, right? Does their energy match what I want? Now, I wonder if I match their energy. Well, do they match my energy? Make it about you, right? So I like that for you. Right. So that is that one there. So thank you for that one. And we'll move on to number two. So number two is your you always get the best stickers. Uh and then so for this one, thank you for this donation. Where's your sister's head at? I don't think I can say it on YouTube. Regarding your fallout situation. Is she not calling you to be manipulative or something else? Does she ever want to reconcile? If so, when? And what else Spirit has to say. All right, let's kind of step into this is fire starter, right? Let's take a look here and see what we got going on. Let's just freshen these up. All right. Sister, where is her head at regarding your guys' fallout situation? Being stubborn. That card didn't want to come out, but that's the message in itself. She's being stubborn. What else? What else is new, right? And then is she not calling you because of manipulation or something else? I feel like that's it. And does she ever want to reconcile? And then, if so, when? And anything else Spirit says. All right. Okay, that's if so, when. And what else do they want you to know here? Yeah, I'm getting this kind of secondary message here too. About the bottom of the deck is the king of earth, the king of pentacles, and underneath that the messenger of earth, the knight of pentacles, slowest moving knight. But both of these are about worth and self-worth, right? And that's one of the things that we look at, right? Both with any situations with other people. What do I want? And I know because for a long time in my life, my decisions were all based on how other people felt. In fact, I think like maybe my first two or three relationships were because people showed interest in me, and I was like, "Oh, you're interested in me? Sure, we'll date." And it turned into a relationship. Sure, it wasn't like me spotting someone and going, "Oh my gosh, I want to be with you." It was the other way, and I was like, pretty much, you just had to show interest, and I'm like, "Someone likes me," you know. That's because I had a low self-esteem back then, and this thing that I'm feeling here is like when we realize my decisions don't have to be based on what anyone else is thinking. What do I want? What do I decide? And then I act on what I want, and I reach out to people, and if they don't reciprocate, then I'm like, "Okay, that's the message loud and clear. I'm not gonna invest energy in it more." We do a cost benefit analysis, right? Is, what I want, I'm gonna put effort into it, but if it involves other people and then they are basically sending me a message that they don't feel the same, then I have to make a decision. Do I wanna continue to invest energy in that, or am I done, right? And then but we do it because of what we want, not because of what other people want. So I feel like there's a good message under there about, yeah, my I decide who I am, and yeah, I do you want to be reconciled with your sister because you feel you're supposed to, or because you want to? That's a big aha, right? If you're like, well, aren't we supposed to be like connected with our family? No. You can look at the entire population of the world. No, it's an expectation, it's a belief, it's a human belief. We're tribal, but you can create your own tribe. Doesn't have to be your blood tribe. You can create your own friend tribe, right? So anyway, I think that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what's going on. Where's your sister's head at as far as reconciliation? Yeah, she's just really stuck in this Five of Pentacles, feeling abandoned, left out in the cold, worthless. I'm not enough. How you treated me made me feel like I'm nothing. Ooh, regardless of what your intentions were, you can't control what's going on, but there's a lot of lack energy here and fear of lack. And the Empress energy. It's an interesting combination because oh, no, sorry, that's the Emperor, not the Empress, but still it's this, Emperor, Empress energy is about regal and I deserve the best. But why did you do that? Because I deserve more. But why did you treat me that way? But it's like a facade, when someone's so um Aries, fiery energy, like the fire starter. I'm in control and blah 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 blah. Well then how, the kink in the armor, right? Well, how did I just stab you accidentally if you have such strong armor, right? And that's showing, the truth of things. No matter how strong she appears to be on the surface, she has fears of not being good enough. And um, when the altercations happen, then that's what kicked in, right? So I feel like that's where her head is at. Let me just take a look here. Okay, was she calling to be manipulative or something else? She's being her little fire starter, the page of fire. She is still burning about this. You know, it's interesting because usually, like, fire type of personalities they burn fast and they cool off fast. And then there's people who are slow cookers that take a long time to heat up and then a long time to cool down. But I feel like she's like, what is it that they're showing me? Like an oil field that when the oil little pipe bursts and it catches on fire, it'll burn and burn and burn and burn and burn. I feel like this is what's been going on. It really, for some reason, hit her so deep with that she felt so hurt by it that it just gets and it just the flame has been burning. So I don't feel like it's out of manipulation. I feel like she's still just really upset about it. So it's not trying to manipulate with this fire. What they showed me, it's like, no, it's been burning nonstop since it happened. It hasn't cooled off. So whatever it triggered something deep with that 5 of pentacles. What happened way before, that even happened, like, when you guys were children, there's something that happened from someone else that hurt her so deep that you mirrored and brought that right to her face, and she's been, uh, burning with that ever since. Wow. Yeah. Well, let's take a look here. What was the other question here? Does she ever want to reconcile? Was this one? The Chariot, undecided, the power of choice, in between. It's, yay! If she does choose to reconcile, look, it's the Empress. It's going to be up to you. I feel like she sees you as an Empress, and she feels like she's an Emperor. She's got like this really raw divine masculine energy that she's just raw, and she sees you as the nurturer, as the one that would make everything better. So when she decides it, she will indicate it, but then it's up to you. She's like it's like an emperor sending a letter to the empress. All right, I'm ready to reconcile, but you have to come to me, and it's like, huh. But I still feel like it's up in the air here. I don't have those details. Let's take a look here. Anything else Spirit wants to say if we can get some more on this one? Yeah, the 3 of Wands. It does feel like it's gonna go a different direction than you had thought. Page of Earth is a new opportunity that's opening up in the outside world. And the 3 of Pentacles, being true to one's authentic self. Kinda this feels like there's gonna be a new opportunity that you guys will bump into one another, but I feel like it's gonna go a different route. I feel like this energy, like this is advice from spirit, these three, which is like, um, let it go and just be yourself, be a true to your authentic self, let it go and go, you know what? Um, I don't need to invest in this. All these threes, the Empress number three, which is you, the three of fire, the three of earth. I feel like because that Empress card came out, referred to you, that all these other threes are referring to you too. Just go a different route than you had thought. Just like, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to worry about it. Um, I'm going to release it. It's like they say, if you release it and it doesn't come back, then it wasn't meant to. If you release it and if it's meant to, it'll come back to you, right? They used to say, if it doesn't come back, you hunt it and track it down and kill it. No, this is, you just release her and and look at what any attachment you had to her actions about your worth, especially all the worth cards here, and just release that. This is the reason why it happened was to show this for you, to be a mirror for you. Like, well, here's your. Well, we're gonna give you another one, but you had the difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior. Which doesn't mean that, like, what did I do wrong with her? No, what is going on inside of you with this situation? What's triggering inside of you? You can't handle or change her or control her triggers. That's up for her to work through. All you are is what is triggering inside of me, because this is happening for me to look at that, right? So that's how I feel like with those. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the magician, your energy, your power, and the king of fire, which is like the emperor energy. But both of these are, you hold the energies for your life, and something you can do if you truly want to be reconciled with her. What we do is, when we talk about all that energy, and this is a great example for every one of us, is like if she acted in a way that we're like, oh my gosh, or we feel we wronged someone somehow in some way, regardless of the situation, if I focus on what I did wrong, or if I focus what I feel someone else did wrong, what I'm doing is I'm pushing them further away. My energy is pushing them further away instead of drawing us closer, because want and need are lack energies. They're have not. In order for me to feel like I need something or that I want something means I don't have it now. So that's a have not. And when I focus my energy on have not things, I get more of having not having, right? But if I focus on instead, which this is the struggle, right? To go, if I want to reconcile with, like, let's say I'm you and that's your sister. I want to reconcile with my sister. I'm going to focus on everything I love about her. Um, Anything that I have loved, so what I have, what kind of gratitude I have for her and have had. So the things I love and things I'm grateful for about them, focus in on that. Instead of, if I focus on that, she's the fire starter, she's the manipulator, she's this, guess what I get? I get more of that. But if I focus on the things I love about her, that makes it easier for this connection to happen. So I feel like with all that magician and the king of wands, it's like, yeah, you have to decide, do I want, is it worth that? Putting that energy out there and having gratitude for it, or do you want to just let it go? But if you truly want to reconcile with her, you can't control her actions, but you can make it easier and draw you guys together more easily if you focus in on what you're grateful for her and what you love about her and how you love her, and focus on that energy instead of the other. All right. So let's take a look. I love that other card for this one too. Let's see what else they have here for you though. I think I have it upside down, but this is the one here. It says, I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. Yeah. So if you're ready, that's the receiving energy, is the have or have had. So if I focus on what I have with someone And that can be finances, relationships, jobs, education situations, whatever it is. When I want something, instead of focusing on the want, which actually pushes it away, that's lack, I focus on what I'm grateful for, what I have and what I have had. And that just brings in more of that. So, all right. So I love that for you. So many blessings to you. All right. And then number 3 is the upside down emoji. Let me take a quick sip here. All right. So for number 3, a general on Joe and Gigi on their relationship. Okay. Why was she not talking to him? What's the argument? Anything else Spirit wants to say? All right. Let's shuffle. Let's see what we got here. So what do we need to know about Joe and Gigi relationship? Okay, they do want those. And then why was she not talking to him? Okay, we do want that one and that one. Anything else? Do want that one and that one there. Okay. And then what's the argument? That's funny. For and against. That's funny in an argument. Here's the for and here's the against. That's hilarious. I haven't had that happen before. And then anything else Spirit wants to say. Okay. No, they don't want those. They do want this one. And they do want this one. Okay. What do we have? We got the Messenger of Fire on the bottom, which is the Knight of Wands. So there's a lot of fire going on between them. Passion? I don't know. Maybe it's just hissing, and we'll find out here. So what they want us to know generally? We got the Page of Water. Whoops. Page of Cups. So that's some happier emotions that's going on here, and the balancing of things out. I feel like there is some working out of communication with that Ace of Swords that they carry there in the scales here. So there does seem to be some balance. They have had some friction. I don't feel like that's not normal. I feel like it's what they do. They argue and they make up. It's funny. They're just reminding me of this Instagram post I saw today or yesterday, and it was a comedian. He was talking about having a stable uh, girlfriend makes me miss my crazy ex-girlfriend. Argue with me. When we don't have arguments, we don't have makeup. We don't have the makeup. From it. And he was like, "Just argue with me. Come on." That's funny. It's like, oh, it's just part of it. They like to argue because they like to make up too. That's too funny. All right. Well, let's take a look here. Why wasn't she talking to him? Let's find out. So we have the Fool card, the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. Queen of Earth. We've got this newness energy here. I don't know. Well, let's see here. We got the arguing and the got the 8 of swords, and we have the strength card, which is Leo, fiery energy, some roaring, but working through some thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve anymore. I don't know. I don't know if there was a pregnancy scare with this Full card and this Queen of Pentacles. I just feel like there was like, if she was late or something and she told him and she didn't get the response back from him that she wanted. You know, I had a reading once where a friend of mine, well, he just came out to me at work and he goes, "Can you tell me if my girlfriend's pregnant?" And I'm like, "Huh." And I just, I go off to check in with Spirit, and they were like, uh, they told me she wasn't, but not to tell him because what the message was, they're like, they're not going to tell you, but what's important is how you act now, how you respond, and how you approach it. That's what's important with whatever's going on. And he was like, "Oh, okay, gotcha," you know? But I feel like there was something here. There was this total, wrong choice of words, wrong approach to something, and it didn't, go well. So, I do feel like you said, there was an argument, and that's why she wasn't talking to him because she was like, "Oh, that's how you think about me, huh?" And he was like, "Oh, crap, I'm not gonna be able to take that back because it was, his reaction out of fear, and, of course, when our little inner child feels unsafe and out of control and we go into fear, who's in charge? A little two-year-old, and it's pet hissing cat. It's like, "Bruh," it's riding the wave. It's like, "Oh, man." It's like, we say and do stupid things, unloving, uncompassionate things. So whatever this reaction was that he did, yeah, uh-uh. So let's take a look here. What was the argument about, right? What's the argument? This is the for and against. So yeah, there we go. Queen of Earth, Queen of Pentacles down here. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture again. I feel like it had to do something with birth. Interesting. And what was the against? The Ace of Air. Yeah. Asking for clarity, uh, kind of thing. So so it would be like what I'm seeing in my brain with this is like, um, let's say like you come to me, you're her and I'm him. You come to me and you say, "I'm late, I might be pregnant." "Are you sure?" "Well, how are we gonna make sure and find out?" That's not the response that you're looking for me, right? What you're looking for is, "Oh, wow, really? Wow. Well, no matter what happens, we're either gonna be great parents or, we'll be more careful in the future if you don't wanna have a baby, but let's talk about this, you know? I love you," That's what you wanna hear, right? Not, "Oh god, what how are we gonna make sure? What happened? Well, I thought you were on the pill. I thought this, I thought that," and it's like, "Oh, well, not the answer that we're looking for." Okay, what else does spirit have to say? So I feel it's like something like that. I mean, if it wasn't that, I'd be totally surprised, um, but it's that kind of response, at least. It's something with that, like, "Hey," and they totally didn't, um handle it in a it's like it made Gigi think, "Oh, this is how important I'm in your life?" Kind of energy. What else? What else do they want you to know? Temperance, patience. So there's some temperance. I feel like as things are working themselves out. Yeah, we have the Sun card. Here's more Leo Sun card energy. And again, Leo energy twice. Inner child, it has a little baby on the sun card normally too. But I just feel like there's this brightness and shininess that came in here. Yeah, and here's the world card, an ending of a major cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, too. So three major arcana is what they have. Just like things are going to work itself out with all of this here. Because I feel like they, especially with those other cards, that they end up, you know, um, working it back, into talking and communicating, and then it all just falls back into place like it did. But I don't feel like it'll ever be the same again with that ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. Um, because you can't unsay things that you said, but it did bring clarity and I feel like growth as well. Right, let's see what else we got here. Fortune cookie for their relationship. Oh, we're getting all these spirit junkies. This one is, I am committed to bringing forth my greatness. I will no longer play small. Wow. I feel like that's Gigi's energy. You know what? I'm not going to, you know, you either want all of me or none of me. I'm not playing it small. And I like that kind of Empress energy, bringing in the Queen Empress stuff that's coming in there. So interesting. All right. So that's what they have for you, Nelia. Thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. Let's see. We had a couple more come in. So up next, we'll have Michelle Smith and then two for Maria P. And then we have Anna. Yep. Yours came in. And then, yep. And then Tammy, I see yours there too. So let me add your name to the list here. So we have Anna and then Tammy. Make sure I spell your last name right. Mazuka. Okay. All right. We have Lolita came in too. Hey, Lolita. Shout out to another of my YouTube channel members. Sorry I missed you earlier. And I said hi to Suri too. So hi again. I see you there. All right. So let's jump in here. So Michelle, let me make sure here. All right. So Michelle, I think I saw you up here. Let me just see if you have a question up here. There you are. Cash App donation. You're manifesting an opportunity to work for someone. What does Spirit say? All right. Let's take a look here, Michelle. Take another quick sip here. All right. So, opportunity to work for someone. Okay. Like these are like this. And then these. Oh, I do want all three. This is underneath the surface here. All right, let's see what we got going on here. We do have the Emperor energy. You've got one card and two card and then three cards. But I feel like these are like outcome energies. These two, and you got these three that are underneath the surface. So that's how we're going to read this. It's something is growing and progressing here. The Emperor on the bottom is about, deciding what you want. And the Emperor, of course, is Aries, new beginning energy, putting forth, it's like, I'm doing what I want. The Emperor has all these self-appointed advisors blabbing in their ear about supposed to be and should be, need to be. And they're like, all right, thank you, everyone. I'm clearing the throne room. There's a big box by the door. Throw all your opinions in it. But I'm going to make a decision on what I want, put a plan together, and put energy behind it. So that is that, manifesting energy about, stepping forward and doing what you're wanting to step forward and do. And um, all about manifesting energy. It's about not so much about want energy and need energy, because that's actually lack energy, right? When we're manifesting. So when we get a kind of a King of Wands, Emperor, Fire, where am I investing my energy kind of, energy in the card, it's a good reminder to not focus on want and need, because that you don't want and need when you're not lacking. You only want and need when you feel you're lacking in something. Well, I want that job. It's like, that's what humanity teaches us, right? Little kid going, I want it, I want it, I want it. We focus on the want, but the higher spiritual kind of manifestation energy is focusing on what I'm grateful for, the have and have had energy. So all the jobs that you have had in the past, um, that you've enjoyed, and anything you have now that you enjoy, we focus on gratitude for what we love. That allows us this conduit to open and this receiving energy to come in. We draw things that are like that, right? Instead of becoming an obstacle and pushing it and being resistant, our energy actually pushes things away when we're in want and need. So it's a good energy just to have under the bottom, uh, energies. You have the Five of Earth. Well, that is the fear of lack energy. So there we go. So step one is, okay, let me change my mindset to that. I'm not lacking anything. Let me focus on what I'm grateful for. We can ask Creator once. They've got a great memory. They're not an old, a really, really old man that's forgotten things, or woman, because they're the mother and father of all things. Um, we ask them once, and then we spend the rest of the time on gratitude around the other things because we're telling them, what, I'd really like a job with this person. So, but what I'm grateful for is this job that I have now. I love this about this job, and this job I loved this and loved this. It doesn't mean you have to have loved the whole job, just specific things you loved about different things, right? So the Five of Earth, the Five of Pentacles is trusting and um, changing that approach with that because that's lack energy. I feel like that's the only reason for that card. Yep, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Pentacles. So then you do have the wheels then turn, and the Three of Pentacles is about you being true to your authentic self as you move forward. Don't try to be who you think they want you to be. Be you, because you don't want to have to pretend to be someone else. Just be you, because if it's a good fit, it's going to be a good fit because it's you being you, not because of that you were great at acting to be who they think they wanted, right? But I feel like if you are true to your authentic self, that is fortunate for you, and it does get wheels turning there. So progression, 1 and 2, and then it leads to these 3. Yeah, the Two of Swords. You are brought to make a decision. There's a battle between the heart and mind here. You have the Two of Fire. So there's this choice that comes up here, this choice point, and the Five of Water, the Five of Cups, which is, for me, the Five of Cups. We can be focusing on lower vibrational emotions with the Three Cups that are spilt, but behind them, what is there? Two of Cups. Power of emotional choice, power of energetic choice, power of mind. It brings you to a decision point. And so I do feel like you get an offer, but it's like, well, is this what your mind wants or what your heart wants? And I feel like you are, you know, brought to this fork in the road, and you're like, well, I'm either going to do this or I'm going to, like, your mind is telling you to go one way and your heart is telling you to go another with all of this. And you have this power of choice. There's no wrong choice, just different choices with different experiences and outcomes. So it's like, in the meantime, maybe just be looking at, why do I want to manifest this opportunity to work for someone? Is it because it's something in my mind is saying that I should want to do, or is it my heart going, oh, this would make me want to sing, my heart sing and make my heart want to dance? Because it's like, oh, this is like it matches up to your heart's desire, right? So I like that comes to a decision point where you're like, all right, am I doing this or ain't I? And so I like that coming up. Before I go out to these final 2 cards, I wanna see this underlying energy too. Yeah, we have the Temptation card. We definitely have this Capricorn, which rules over the 10th house of work, but it's about letting go of expectations and long-held thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, that don't serve us anymore. And so that's about getting out of the head. That's some underlying energy, which I feel supports that, coming up there. You also have the Four of Air, the Four of Swords, which is putting the mind to rest. The expectations on the wall, they're sleeping. Normally, there's like 3 swords on the wall, and they're sleeping on the Ace of Swords, which is this energy of letting go of expectations. So getting out of the head here, definitely underneath the surface. And the High Priestess, yeah. See things from the higher perspective, really get in tune, take a step back, communicate with your higher self, your heart, look behind the veil. Why do I want this? Dive deep into your emotions. And so they like this, and follow your gut, follow your instinct, follow your heart, but not, they're like, don't follow your mind when it comes to this. Close your eyes and open your heart in this. Let's see where this leads you. You've got the Four of Cups, so emotional stability, and the Three of Water. Yeah. Joy and celebration. So you have all this emotional energy. 3, 4, and 5, or 5, 4, 3 is how it unfolds here. So I like that it leads us to follow your heart. If that's where it's leading you, then I do feel like you're going to have that decision point to be able to to choose that for you there. So I like that, and we'll get you a fortune cookie here. Let me just put these cards back in. In fact, let me just shuffle them this way. I'm just gonna move them around here just so that they're all refreshed. All right. Oh, guess what? We're gonna have to go down there and get some cards here in a sec. Sticky finger, not sticky fingers, butterfingers, bruddaZEN. All right, here's your card for your fortune cookie. When I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. Yeah, this is that gratitude energy, focusing on the good, what I've loved in jobs I've had in the past, and I acknowledge it. So I love that. So hopefully that helps, Michelle. That's what they have there for you. Oh, and I didn't put your timestamp. Oh, I failed. I failed. Oh no. All right, I'm gonna put here uh question marks, and I will come back to that. I just need to get these cards here. Oh my goodness. I don't think any went under the dresser there. All right. So I'm not sure, Michelle. I will have to find your timestamp and manually put it in eventually. But maybe I put here before 111 or 112, right? We'll do that. 11200. I'll put ended at. How's that? That sounds better. At least it's there. All right. Okay, we are back on track. So, Maria P., you are up next. Let's grab your timestamps here and then put them there. Have to do both. There we go. Yeah, hey, Olivier. Shout out to another YouTube channel member and Kitty Cat Black. Hello. Good to see you guys. All right. All right. So, Maria P., thank you so much for your dual donations. So, we'll start off here with the first here. So, what are Walter's feelings and thoughts towards you today? Okay. Feelings and thoughts. I feel like those are those. And then, what were his thoughts on your date yesterday? Let's just do that here. And then today, dropping you home today after work. Okay. Got those. All right. And then what is he up to this weekend? And then update on the dark side. Those are kind of limited. And anything else that they want to tell you here? Oh. Well, evidently I put some cards in upside down. I see them here. Maybe those are the ones that fell out. All right. Let's see here again. Anything else they want you to know? Oh, some things are not put back right. Some things ain't just right. All right, we'll find out here. All right, so his feelings and thoughts for you. All right. Yeah, right. Wow. So 3 major arcana. So we have the Fool card, which is this energy of just feeling like it's an adventure. That it's just flowing. It's the card of unlimited possibilities. And again, the kind of that energy of wanting a new adventure, wanting to take it, an old because world card is the last card in the major arcana, which is the ending of a cycle, and they're ready to go to a new level. But I feel like they're trying to figure out what this new level is like, right? They have the patience card, the temperance card, so they're not in a rush to figure it out, but they are looking at wanting to do things to a different level. We got the high priestess. She's very in tune with emotion and connection. So they're feeling very connected on an emotional, kind of empathic, kind of a deeper connection energy that's coming in there. So I like that. Let's see here. What were his thoughts on your dates yesterday? So King of Pentacles, the feeling of fullness and wholeness there, feeling like the king of the world. The Two of Fire, which is about um take a look here. Yeah, and they have the Wheel of Fortune, which feels very, it speaks for itself, right? Very fortunate, and like everything that was unfolding was great. And the Two of Fire, it's the Two of Fire is like an energy of power of choice and how someone's feeling in the moment. And so I feel like it kind of just went through a variety of different things. In the end, they felt like, wow, what a great thing. But I feel like there was like hiccups and bumps along the way on things that like would take them off and they would come back and be happy, happy. And then something would take them off and they'd come back. So if you picked up on anything, I feel like there was some things that were, I wouldn't say triggering. That's a too strong of a word, but I just feel like there was some stuff that was distracting them, thoughts and whatever that went in different directions. But overall, I mean, King of the Earth, huge abundance card with the Wheel of Fortune. I just feel like um, they feel like overall, like, wow, they don't even remember those things. You might have picked up on it. Like, oh, they acted weird. Okay, well, they're acting happy now again, and it's like, what happened? And they probably couldn't tell you if they thought about it. They probably don't even remember it right now. So I feel like that was more for you if you spotted some things because you're watching them like a hawk, right? And you're empathic, so you pick up on emotions. And you're like, that was weird, and then but it's gone. It was like a blip on a radar that was there, and then it's gone, and you're like, "Oh, I coulda swore something was there." Oh, well, but it's nothing to worry about. It's just a UFO. That's funny. Alright, so that's what they have for that, and then after taking you home after work. Yeah, balance between head and heart. Queen of, Swords, which is that perfect compatible partner energy, the 10 of water, the 10 of cups. That's the joy Buddha. Very, very happy, happy. And the 10 of swords, letting go of expectations. You know, this, I got the Wheel of Fortune number 10 and these other 10s. There's definitely in that full card, there's this transitional kind of thing. It's letting go of expectations and enjoying the adventure. And so they just enjoyed it. They didn't have any expectations around it all. They just live in the moment. That's something that I feel like one of the things you're learning from them is, in regards to your relationship. He has expectations about a whole bunch of other stuff, but I feel like he, with relationship with you, is trying not to repeat old, having a lot of those expectations that suck the life out of a relationship. He's trying to keep it fresh, keep it real, keep it abundant instead of feeling like it's work. And that's why I feel like he was really joyful about it all. So very, very happy, happy, joy, joy energy. What is he up to this weekend? Yep. Working on stuff in the world, in the physical world, the Page of Pentacles, creating new opportunities, working on wealth, working on home, working on it's all physical, like work stuff. It just feels like I work at work and then I go home and there's more work to do on home and this and this and this. And there's always something. And I feel like that's what's going on here. It's a lot of opportunities. There might even be an event this weekend with this Page of Pentacles that they have to go to, that they've committed to, or they feel like they have to go to. And then update on the dark side. Yeah, it's getting there. We got the Eight of Pentacles, which is putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears to try to get the fruit that they want. And the Sun card is that Leo energy, that fireness that's there. It's like being in the heat of the sun, right? Um, but they're putting in, they're doing the stuff to try to get to, you know, the the Eight of Pentacles is like an apprentice trying to become a master, right? What else do they want you to know? All you need to know, the Lovers card. Anything else that they want you to see? Laying down with your lion. So that's what they just want to say. It's an important relationship. That's what you need to know. It's an important relationship. Always returning to the gratitude, right? And then we'll pull a fortune cookie here, and I'll take a look here at your second donation. So it looks all good stuff there. Just good reminders to, you know, come back to that gratitude. We need as many reminders as we can on that because there's so many things in this giant amusement park of fear out here that we get drawn out into the fear, the want, the need, the things we hate, the things we're, and then we just grow all that stuff instead of like, what do I want to grow in my life? Focus on it. If we're taught from that from kindergarten, can you imagine how we would all be? The world would just be so different, but we're not. We're taught focus on your fears, what you don't have, what you need, want, need. We're brainwashed into all of that, and that's all we do instead of focusing on what am I grateful for? Because whatever we look at and we're grateful for, truly grateful for, we draw more of that towards us, right? So, I feel like you're going to have this one here for this one, which is my genuine desire to serve clears the path for me to step into my purpose. Yeah, not looking at what can I get from the world, but what can I do for the world? That servant attitude, right? Because that just puts things instead of going, well, I don't want this to happen to me. It's like, what do I want to do for the world? I want to give. I'm going to fill up and give to the world in my own special, unique way, right? All right. So that's what they have for that one. And then for your second one, thank you so much for that donation. So he seemed excited but down about a work trip he's taking in June. He said it's not for sure. Why was he sad? And also, is that trip going to get canceled? He didn't seem too sure about it. All right. So based on current energies, we'll look into that. But why? So why was he sad or not like excited about this trip? Okay. Okay. We have that. And then based on current energies, will it get canceled? None of those. Okay, I do want that one. Okay, I do want that top one. I do want that one. And I do want this one. Not that one. Okay. So why was he sad? What were the sadsies about? Yeah, we have the Emperor card here. I feel like it's because it wasn't like an optional trip, like they said. They weren't. It's how the Emperor in this case is like how their boss, whoever told them they had to go on the trip, how they handled it. It was like, so you're going on this trip and da 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 da. They like didn't even like make it to check to see if it was okay or whatever. They were just kind of like you're going. So I feel like it was more about the approach because their boss was in a mood and they were in a mood and then the moods met. So I don't feel like it went very, very well there. Um yeah, and then I feel like they don't like time away. I feel like when they went away to that other trip, they really missed you quite a bit because you got the Four of Wands and the Queen of Fire. The Queen of Fire is you, the Four of Wands is joy, celebration, gathering. And I feel like that there is that energy that they would, yeah, that they would miss. And here's that full card and the 9 of cups. I feel like they really are looking forward to some things in June with you, and the 9 of cups is like an emotional dream come true, and the full card is that next stage, trying to figure things out, and they just don't want an interruption of how things are flowing, I feel too. So, combination of those things, but I feel like the mood was even beforehand because I feel like they were in a mood and their boss was in a mood, and that just which put them both in a worse mood. So there's something even more so, um, going on. It's something more below the surface. Um, because I feel, let me sit here for a sec because I feel like they had like an argument in the morning. Just a lot of stuff like happened in the morning before they even had their meeting and were told about this trip and whatever it was, and they were just like, it just was something else added into their busy schedule and everything else, and I got to work this out, and there might be an important event that they're supposed to go to that's that around that same time too, and now they're gonna have to say, "Well, I may not be able to go," and that's gonna cause another argument, and there's just all this stuff, they're just like, "It's all I needed." Ugh, So I feel like it was multiple things that were going on with it. I just feel like overwhelmed by that. Um, is it gonna get canceled? Well, it's still up in the air with the 2 of swords. It's like being at a crossroads. 7 of earth. Last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. Although it's 7 of earth does have an energy of a change of the fruit that we're wanting. The ace of earth is a new opportunity. I do feel like it's gonna get rescheduled. Yeah, king of water, something more balanced between head and heart. So I do feel like, this energy that comes in here is this, you know, leaning towards that it's going to be rescheduled to a different time, not canceled, but rescheduled because there's a new opportunity, something more balanced, something um, more aligned, if that makes sense. All right. And then we'll grab you another fortune cookie here. All right, if I can get all these back in here. There we go. All right, let's see what else they have here for you. All right, there we go. And you have, I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. So focusing on what you have in common, and this is kind of that energy of focusing on what we love too, but focusing on sameness with others and united and that we're all one. So it's more looking at how things are together, not how things are apart, which is kind of in a roundabout way of focusing on what you love, what you're grateful for, not what you're that's not happening yet, you know. Focus on what is happening, right? So I like that for you. So those are for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. Let me jump up here. Okay. Let me just check a look here. I got a couple more that came in. Let me just check some time stamps here. All right. So Sonali Thakur. Whoops. It's trying to update things. Don't do that. I didn't tell you to correct that. Okay, there we go. So Sonali. And then we did have QV Love. I see yours via Z PayPal, so thank you for that. So where we're at, I've got Anna coming up next, and then Tammy Mazuka, and then Sonali Thakur, and then KV Love. Those are the donations. They do get priority first. And let's see, we're at 7:25. So depending on time, um, I should, I mean, if I have time left, then if there's no other donations, then I will go to the top of the YouTube channel members, and then after that, then the free reading. So I'm not going to get to everyone here in 30 minutes, but I will come back. I'm going to go spend about an hour and a half. I can talk with my Praying Mantis members, and then I'll be back on after that. After I take a little quick break, and then I'll complete all readings this evening. After I'm done with each of my sessions, I do post a pinned comment listing the order in which every one was completed with timestamps. So um, be on the lookout for those after the session. You can just click on the timestamp, it'll take you right to your reading. I know we're high tech. All right, so let me make sure. I think we are in order here. So Anna, whoops, let me grab timestamp. Anna. Do the 13103. Let's put that out here. All righty. There we go. So thank you for your donation and all. Is that all that tea? Let me take a sip of here my iced coffee. All right. So a follow-up. Do it best we can to Dan here, not buying the reason they said it was canceled because the show is revenue driven. A prior comment came up. All right. So a follow-up read on the situation with FF and their live shows. The live for tonight kept getting pushed back. Then at the very last minute was canceled. Nosy reading on what's going on. All right, let's take a look here. Okay. Okay. All right. So I do want this one. I don't want those. I do want this one. Not that one. I do want these two. I do want, well, I want this one, but I also want this one. Okay. I feel like it kind of goes in that order, though. All right. What do we have coming in? What were we talking about the other night? The need for justice. Well, it's interesting that the underlying energy is the justice card that is coming in here. So we'll see what all this means here. The first two cards that came out, we do have the Seven of Swords, which is lying and deceit and, the quietness of truth, that, the deceiver, deception. So I feel like you're right, with that energy of like, that's whatever reason they said it was canceled is not the reason. The Ace of Pentacles, that's a new opportunity that's opening up. Um, for that particular session. So I feel like there will be another one coming, but there yeah, definitely is more to the story. That's the cover up. So we definitely have, that's there. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. Got the Page of Water, Page of Cups, along with the Five of Air, the Five of Swords, conflict, which did bring up emotions. And so battle, argument, disagreement, there is conflict. Let's see what this conflict was about, though. Well, it's emotional choice in partnerships here. So there is this, the disagreement was between partners. And I feel like, when you're talking about like the owners and the partners, that's what I mean by partners is like business partners. I feel like there's some disagreement that's happening, that's going on there. Let's see what this is about. Hmm. Queen of Fire, King of Fire. Hmm. So here's the two partners, right? Isn't there a male and female? Is it a husband and wife? But I forget, I don't remember what the details were the other night, but yeah, the king and the queen of fire definitely is divine counterparts, but they're also very sparky and very prone to whoever these two individuals are. So there was a disagreement and a conflict that came in. Conflict both in schedules, but also that ended up being a conflict in um like verbal conflict where it's like, well, I already told you I wasn't gonna be able to be there for that. And they're like, well, I already told you that I was gonna do that. Well, blah, 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 blah. And so they were like, well, we can get someone else to do it. Let's just push it back to there. I can do it then, but then something else came up and something else. It just escalated because of all that. Let's see what else we have here too. And the Nine of Fire, what Nine of Wands energy. This block hitting your head up against a wall. Usually they have someone with a head injury where they're knocking their head up against a wall over and over again. They couldn't get past something. So, um, so I just feel like it's conflicting because isn't the people who present during their sessions, I feel like this king and queen are them. If they're not the partners, it's definitely a male and female energy, divine masculine, divine feminine energy that especially with divine counterparts though. That's why I feel like it was people who are married or together, but doesn't have to be. It could be just a business partnership with these cards. We got the Four of Fire, celebration, a gathering, something that they couldn't get out of. So it's joyful celebration in the end here. The Five of Water, which is this changing of emotional energy. Don't feel like it's anything, permanent. This is like a seeing things from a higher perspective and getting clarity and balancing things. And even the temptation card, the devil card underneath it, is about letting go of some old ways of thinking. So I do feel like whatever conflict they had with someone being able to be there, that they're working it out and they're going to get past it. I don't feel like it's something permanent. I don't feel like it's the justice that maybe uh, you were looking for. Like, oh, is this the stuff coming? No, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like an internal conflict, not a conflict as a result of something coming in yet, anything like that. Um, I just feel like it was about having someone to be able to lead a live show or something, and there was conflicts, and someone dropped the ball, and then someone was expected to pick it up, but they dropped it too, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god," Let's see what else we have here. Okay, here's your fortune cookie. It says, "Let me be still today and listen to the truth in silence." So they just decided, "Oh, you know what? Let's just cancel and let's stop arguing and let's just, use this time to get our stuff together." All right. So that's what they have for you, Ada. So many blessings to you. All right. Then up next, we've got Tammy Mazuka. Let's put your timestamp here. I think it was 1:39. So here we go. Let me put it out here in the chat. Boom, boom. All right. Yeah, Kitty Cat Black. If you haven't put your question out there, you can throw it out there. I'll eventually get to it. Probably not in this session, but um, I do when I return. If I have any donations, I don't complete there first, and then YouTube channel members, and then all the other free readings. So if you have a question, throw it out there for sure. All right. So Tammy, let me see here. I don't think your question is on your. Nope, it's up here. There it is. Your fiance. Let me make sure timestamp. Okay, yeah. So right here. So your fiance was placed on a parole hold pending an investigation. He has since been cleared of all allegations. All right, and no charges were filed. Hallelujah. His parole officer told him he won't be released until July 11th. She said he has to serve out his 89-day sanction hold. You've been fighting this. Will he be home soon? All right. And then, all right, thank you. All right, let's take a look here and see what's coming in. Well, I'm so glad that all allegations were cleared and no charges were filed. So let's ask first, is July 11th, based on current energies, is that going to be the correct date? Or is that going to change? Okay. And then, will he be home soon? What else Spirit wants you to know about that here? We got those, that one. Those, they want this one too. Okay. I feel like the day is going to change. We have the Six of Swords, which is movement. It's letting go of old ways of thinking and moving to new ways of thinking, but it's going from choppy waters to calmer waters. So I feel like there might be something, an earlier release time for that. For some reason, I feel like they might even be home for like 4th of July weekend. Like they're realizing, if we can do this beforehand, let's just do it. Let's just do it before, kind of. So I don't feel like it's going to go the full 89 days. Let's see here. Is it going to be home soon? Yeah, we have the 10 of Cups here, which is joy and celebration. The 7 of Swords, again, um, July. Well, I feel like with the 7 here, I I don't feel like the 7 of Swords energy. I feel like the number 7 that's coming in here. So I feel like it is going to be July, but I don't feel like it's going to be the 11th. I don't know if it'll be 7/7. We'll see if we get any other clarity on the date for here, but I do feel like it will be in July. Like they're not going to push it back any further. I feel like it more so would be sooner, not later. Let's see what else I want you to know here. Yeah, we got the Emperor energy. So there's still some decisions. It feels like someone in authority is going to make a different decision, like a judge or someone, and an emperor, or someone in a place of authority is going to make a change with that. So someone steps up to um, to do that. So it's like someone overrides it, and now they can let them out here, kind of stuff. Because you said you're fighting it, right? Yeah. So I feel like we're going to get through to someone there. Thing you can do here with the High Priestess energy and the Two of Wands is because the bottom of the deck you have the Fear card of the Nine of Swords, which is nightmare and insomnia energy. And I was wondering when they're going to bring it up, and they're bringing it up now because something that you can do to help with it being sooner is not focus on the lower vibration of it, which is the Nine of Swords, which is, I fear they're not going to let him out. I fear this is going to happen. And I want this and I need this. And there's lack energy, which actually resists and push things away. But if you start focusing on gratitude for what you do appreciate, what you do love, then that opens up the conduit and allows you to receive rather than push away resolution. You're drawing resolution to you. So an example would be like, I'm so grateful. Like if you think about the judge or whoever, I'm so grateful that all charges were cleared. I'm so grateful that all the allegations were cleared. I'm so grateful that they're coming home. I'm so grateful, that they're safe. I'm so grateful. It's like sincere gratitude for what you have and what you have had, not focusing on what you're not having happen that you want, because all that does is grow more not having, right? And so this Two of Fire, Two of Wands is choosing to put my energy not into lower vibration and draw that to me, but focus on higher vibration and draw things that match that to me. And that High Priestess, you got the High Priestess number 2, which is power of choice with the Two of Wands, but the High Priestess is, you know, really picture the things you're grateful for, feel the gratitude in picturing those things that you love that have happened and are happening, and that will help with it all too. Yeah, you have the Strength card, the Leo energy. So we like this energy, that inner strength. Um, let's see what else that comes in here, because this is a card of just be strong on the inside, connect with your higher self, because that's what who this is here is, trust that humans are not in charge, but that the higher realms are in charge. And with this flow energy of the number eights, this is the major arcana number 8, flow energy. It's focusing on what's working well, not what's not. Because if we focus in on like the 9 of swords, which is 4 swords on either side and then a big sword in the middle, which is a blockade, then I get more block. And I don't want block, I want flow. So focus on, thank you, Creator, for everything's flowing in perfect harmony, and you're going to bring them home in the perfect time, in the perfect way. I trust you. I want them home, and I'm grateful, that you're going to bring them home safely and perfectly and all that too, right? So I love that. Yep, King of Air, King of Swords, along with the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels like here the King of Swords is a great communicator. So it's somebody, and I almost feel like someone who knows the law, a lawyer, or someone who's very intelligent and educated creates this new opportunity. So I feel like someone does step in somewhere and communicates and brings up good points to whoever this authority is to make that change there. Yeah. And there you go, the Lovers card. So they are coming home. So just trust that they'll be in your arms, that Leo energy. Are they a Leo? We got all this Leo energy. But I like this. I like that for you. So yes, they will be home soon. But I still feel like July. I still feel like there's red tape that they still have to get through. But I can't believe it's almost the end of May already. It's time just is flying by. That's just weeks away. So I know you want him in your arms right now, but uh, he'll be soon enough. Just the more you focus on what you're grateful for instead of what's not happening, you can draw things in more quickly for you. But based on current energies, I do feel like it's earlier July, but still July. Let's see what your fortune cookie says here. They want this one for you here. I can focus on my physical well-being. Card number 4, and it says, it is not attention to lack of wellness that makes you sick. It is attention to the lack of many things. Yes, this is talk about don't focus on what's lacking, right? Chronic attention to unwanted things holds you in a place of disallowing your physical or other well-being, as well as disallowing the solutions to other things that you're focused upon. If you would focus your attention upon the experience of physical well-being as much as you focus upon the absence of it, not only would your recovery come quickly, but maintaining your physical well-being and balance would also be easy. So if you take it away from that works with our physical health, but it also works with that situation, anything else, jobs, education, all of that. The more we focus on the things that are going well, the more well things happen. If I focus on what's not going well, I get more of the not well, right? So hopefully that helps there, Tammy. I'm excited for you, but they'll be in your arms before long. So hang in there. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And then up next, we do have Sonali Thakur. So Sonali, let's grab your timestamp here. Throw it down here. All right. So Sonali, thank you so much. Let's give that a love and a like since it lets me. And you'd like a general love reading. All right. All right. What does Spirit want you to know about love, love, love? Let's see. We got these two and that one underneath. All right. So on the bottom of the deck, you do have the Judgment card, which is about your higher self calling you to see things from a different perspective. You also have underneath that the Three of Wands, which is about a change of direction with new information that comes in here. And you even have the Knight of Cups on the bottom, which is movement of love. So regarding love, there is this kind of message of, looking beyond the expectations, the old ways of supposed to be and should be, and you know that this is who they should be in the relationship, how the relationship should start, how it should progress, what is it supposed to bring to me, who am I supposed to be in the relationship, a lot of blah 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 rules, right, that we've grown up with. And this is all that drawing to see things differently. It's like if you were to write down, make a list of everything that I need to have in a partner. Write it all down. What a relationship is supposed to bring me, write it all down. Get it all on paper and then start questioning those things. Where did that come from? Where did that belief come from? What am I fearing if this doesn't happen? What do I fear that means about me? What do I fear will be the outcome of this? Because this is like the altering of course and the questioning to release us from all these expectations, because expectations are what destroy relationships, because they suck the life out of a relationship, because expectations were focusing on what's not happening instead of having gratitude for what is. We have this list. Okay, they're doing that. Okay, they're doing that. Okay, oh, they're not doing that. Okay, they're doing that. They're doing that. Oh, they're not doing that. We're focusing on the do nots, right? Not so much the, oh, look, you did that one. And you're like, nope, you're not doing that. Well, look what you're not doing. And look what I'm not doing. Look what the relationship isn't bringing me. Right. But if you're focusing on, oh, I love that this is happening in the relationship. I love this about them. I love this about you. And, it's like this growth that happens, and it spirals up in a beautiful way instead of down and explodes. So let's see what else they have here for you. Eight of Water, Eight of Cups. There's this energy here of, you know, part of your process of preparing for a relationship is letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. And that's exes, but it's also family, friends, whoever, where you're investing a lot of emotional energy and you're getting hardly anything back. And because all that emotional energy that you're investing out there, your emotional bank is low and your heart won't allow more love to come toward it, um, or a need for love to come toward it if it's going to make it go bankrupt. So, bringing back and loading up your emotional bank, by releasing these relationships or backing off, where instead of giving 70, 80, 90%, you only give 50. If they give the rest, then the relationship won't drift apart. But if they don't, then the relationship drifts apart. Then you can take back all of that and you're loading up your emotional bank, preparing for an emotional relationship with someone else. The other part of that is there's also energy that's taken pushing emotions below, into the subconscious, that's been happening since we were 7 years old and younger, when we're having emotions that we were told, don't be mad, don't be sad. You only can be a happy baby or a happy child. So we are like, oh, I don't want to be punished or lose praise. So we push emotions down. We don't know what to do with them, but we've been taking emotional energy, keeping them down. So anything that we can, um, transmute and transform emotions from our past, also we get a bunch of energy back that helps fill it up. So that's what is coming in there. It's preparation, yeah. It's to help you have this balance between head and heart with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, and with relationships too. 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles is one of the relationship cards. So you definitely have, in order to create the space for this perfect compatible person, which is what also the Queen of, Swords is, and with a relationship card, it's important for you to clear the emotional space for them and build up your emotional bank so you have that emotion to spend on the relationship with them. So that's an important piece there. We don't have time. Okay. And then you have the Ace of Air. Yeah, this person's going to be someone brand new with the Ace of Swords. It's a brand new communication. It's not someone you know yet. You haven't met them before because there's been no communication. This will be a first communication that you have with them. Yeah, I love it. It's worth the wait too. You got the Wheel of Fortune and the World card. The World card is another victory card. It's an end of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure together. And the Wheel of Fortune is, I mean, self-explanatory, right? It's abundance. It's the wheels of fate turning. It does tell me that you do have, because the World card is also like a reincarnation card for me or a past life. And with the Wheels of Fate, the Wheels of Fortune, I do feel like there's past life connections that you have with this individual. But it does feel like, wow, when you meet them, you both feel it. You feel this attraction, you feel this draw. And sometimes say, when you meet someone like this, you have this, you're going to know who it is because it's like they glow in the dark and they have a rainbow shooting out of their butt. And you're like, I think that's them. You're going to know. There's not going to be, I wonder if that's them. You're like, well, there's the rainbow. That's what bruddaZEN said. There's the rainbow, you know. Yeah, and you have the Lovers card. It is definitely a fated relationship, and you definitely have one here, that's coming in, so I like that for you. So, it's looking good. Hopefully that helps, but I feel like that's the big thing is you're in a process of letting go of a lot of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore, um, that allow you to take a different direction, allow a different direction as far as who you would normally would be like, you know, um wow, I never thought I would fall in love and end up being with this person, but they're so perfect for me. But they definitely didn't, um, if I kept my old list, I wouldn't have ended up with them, you know. And it's like getting rid of the old list and making the space emotionally and having all that energy too. So I like that. Let's see what your fortune cookie says here. All right. And I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. Yep, you're being a beacon of love. I also feel like you're pouring out any of it's like you're part of the emotional piece is forgiveness, and you're pouring out the wrath, you're pouring out the pain because you no longer want to be a vessel of pain because of someone else's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence, and you're forgiving because you're pouring all that out. You're like, I'm not going to let this um, hurt me anymore because I'm going to be a vessel of love. So I feel like you're releasing that and you're just filling up and being this vessel of love is part of your journey here too. So I like that. Alrighty. Oh, QV love. I don't think I'm gonna get to yours. I want to give it the all the attention that you deserve here. I don't want to just do a quick, oh no, no, here's your answer. You want to know if love is on the way for you. So QV love, you'll be the first when I return, probably within probably about 2 hours, maybe earlier, but at least that because I want to definitely go into, I don't want to just because I need to leave in like a minute. I don't want to be like, you know, yes, here they are. Bleh, I wanna take time, so hopefully you understand, and thank you guys, all of you, for all your patience in getting to your readings. Like I said, I will be back in 2 hours. After I'm done with this session, I will post a, pinned comment listing the order in which, the readings were completed with the timestamps, and then when I return, I will also do that, actually, in the description box of the video, I'll have the order in which I'm going to complete the readings. And then after I'm done, I will post a pinned comment with that, but it'll include timestamps too. So I will complete all readings, all the free ones, all the YouTube channel members, everything else. And the only donation I didn't get to was QV Love, and I'm so sorry. Thank you for your patience and getting to these. Whoops. Mouse Gone Wild. All right, there we go. So we will. Oh, thank you, QV Love. That makes me feel less guilty. But we'll definitely get you your uh, a good in-depth reading. Um, hey, Grace, if you get your question out, I'm about to head out. The elevator doors are closing, but you can throw your question in real bit. There you go. All right, got it. What are Liam's feelings for you? I grabbed it. So thank you guys again so much for all your love and all your support. All the thumbs up too. It does help spread the Zen love. Don't forget, if you haven't checked out the giveaway celebration, thank you guys so much for helping me get to 2,400 plus subscribers. I don't really, focus on it a lot, but when I reach, little like points, I like to celebrate. And so I'm going to have some giveaway of some free personal recorded readings. That's the link. If you check that out, it tells you how to sign up for that. I'll be pulling winners a week from today. So next Friday, probably in the morning before these sessions, I'll be pulling winners. So be sure to check that out. And if you haven't checked out the Gemini season video, this is also out. Oops, let me try that again. There we go. So if you want something to watch in the meantime for some more messages from Spirit about this next 30-ish days until June 20th until summer solstice, you can check that out there too. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out and I will see you guys in a couple hours. So many blessings to you. And remember, as you're going through this adventure, that every second of every day of your life, that you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. It helps me if I click the end button.